In us thy humble.
During Lent, we often focus on what we're giving up, but perhaps we should focus more on what we're taking up, specifically what John Wesley called the means of grace. He explains these in his famous sermon of that title. By means of grace, he says, I understand outward signs, words, or actions ordained of God and appointed for this end, to be the ordinary channels whereby he might convey to men preventing, justifying, or sanctifying grace. So for Wesley, God had ordained certain channels through which to convey grace to his people. Now, Wesley made a distinction between what he called the instituted and prudential means of grace. The instituted means are those that Scripture clearly teach. Prayer, searching the Scriptures, Holy Communion, fasting, and Christian fellowship. Wesley believed that these were essential for every Christian's growth. The prudential means of grace are those practices that help us experience God's grace in our particular time and place. These might include small group meetings, private devotions, or particular forms of service to others. In the earliest days of Christianity, we read about the believers partaking in these means of grace. Acts 2 verse 42 says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. So this has always been a Christian habit, doing these things to connect to God. Our Lenten journey gives us a wonderful opportunity to embrace these means of grace. We're already practicing fasting, and this week we spoke a lot about prayer and Bible reading. But perhaps in the days to come, we can share in Holy Communion more frequently, or seek deeper Christian fellowship through small groups or prayer partnerships. The beauty of these means of grace is that they're not just religious duties. Wesley saw them as channels through which God actively pours his love and grace into our lives. They're not about earning God's favor, but about positioning ourselves to receive what he's already eager to give. This Lent, let's not just focus on what we're giving up. Let's embrace these means of grace as opportunities to receive more of God's presence in our lives. As Wesley himself would say, God is ready to meet us through these means. The question is, are we ready to receive what he offers?
Let us see thy grace.